Okay, I guess we're here. We're doing it. You know, you talk and you talk and you think about it, and then next thing you know, boom, boom, the camera, the lights, we're here. So welcome to B Camp number 2, and really excited about today. I'm going to throw out a few new things. So in case you were participating in the one, in that oh so long ago one, way back in March, you'll hear a few new things. And even if you hear something that you heard before, it's probably takes where I was talking about that with some friends this morning in my mastermind, how somebody had reminded me, why don't you write a goal about that? And I'm like, oh yeah, like I forget. So we need to be reminded. That's what these kind of calls are really great for. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start out and doing some introductions, and then we'll just kind of roll with the flow. We are going to take, just in case you want to plan ahead, we are going to take a break right in the middle. And so we'll have a little bit of a 10 minutes, to refill your drink or run down the hall, whatever you need. So don't worry about that. I know it is a 3-hour commitment today, and if possible, do your best to stay till the end. And all right, so I wanted to start our screen share for a minute. So welcome. This is the B Camp that is a new experience, a new message for me. And Mark, who you'll meet officially in just a second, I think all of you know him anyway, but we're experiencing something today. This isn't just a learn something, Jan teach you something. You all know everything you need. All I'm here is to plant a few seeds and to maybe nudge a few elbows if there's something that you're wanting to bring forward in the world. This is your pathway to experience the magic of sacred synchronicity, and we're going to get to learn what that means. And this is Mark and I. Mark had a wonderful experience for me. It was about 2 years ago. Hard to believe. Yeah. Well, actually 1 year ago, a little more than that. It was, I kind of like have everything framed in before COVID and after COVID. So this was early last year. And I went to Orlando to attend his Soulful Leadership Retreat. And I went there feeling the nudge, like I knew I needed to be there, but I wasn't feeling well. I'd had kind of a cold or flu bug going on, and I thought I was going to miss it. But then somewhere right in the middle of the day that I was taking off, that I should have been at Orlando, I heard, get up and go. Just take the Tylenol, have the cold medicine, whatever you need, take some tea, and just get on that airplane and go, and you'll be delighted. So I don't know what it took for you to get here today. Hopefully you weren't recovering from a bug, but Mark, let me just stop this and give you a chance to say hello. Where are you? Come back.
I thought I unmuted myself, but I did not. Okay, here I am.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody else noticed that picture of me, but I'm wearing the same shirt.
Oh my gosh. How perfect. How perfect.
I had no idea that was in that picture. That's funny.
That's funny.
So,
well, yeah, let me put you on the spot about something. Let's see, what can I
Well, first
ask?
I want to say that first and most important, I'm the father of 11-year-old twins. My twins, Eden and Zen, like a Zen garden and a Garden of Eden, boy and girl. Twins turned 11 last Thursday. And we had our Metamind, which Jen is a part of, that day. We meet once a month, and we have for the last 3 years on the third Thursday, which happened to be my kid's birthday. And they said, Dad, you meet once a month. Does it have to be on our birthday? And it did, because that's what we had scheduled. That's what we put on the calendar. But we live an integrated life. And that's something that I've been trying to create and bring forward, which is why this is such an important part of the story, is that we got to do our Metamind, our mastermind 2-hour call from Universal Studios. And then the next day we have a big 2-hour open office hours that is all Renee's, which is the most beautiful part of this partnership, is integrating Renee into our program. And she wasn't there. Karen Fritz Joy, or Joy Fritz, managed it all. So we didn't even have to be there. And that is what we've been wanting to manifest, is a community of people that can be there for each other, and have things create together without us even having to be a part of it. So I'm grateful for our children being integrated. My wife will be 19 years in January, being a part of my business and being able to play with beautiful people like Jan, having these communities of what I call transformational leaders.
Absolutely. 19 years, my gosh. You're only 20, so I don't know how that happened, but anyway, just to give you a little background on the story of how Mark and I started to collaborate, is that early last year, as I mentioned, I went to his retreat, and I also had the thought that I wanted to just get out of my business. Like I was just going to leave. It was 20 years coming up, and I'm like, well, that's long enough for anybody to do anything. But mostly it was just like inside of me was feeling just flat. And I thought, well, maybe, somebody might want to buy the business, or maybe I might just walk away. I wasn't really in a very clear state of mind. And I went to Mark's event with the thought that I've already been there, done that. Anybody ever felt like that? I've done it all. I've been there, I've done that. And truthfully, my little arrogant being sat in the back. Now, I was sniffly, I had a little raw in my throat and I wasn't feeling 100%, but I kind of sat in the back of the room at the event, and I would look at the brilliant speakers. I mean, I loved everybody in that room. It was such a heart-centered group of people. I mean, one of the best, if not the best, group that I've ever attended a conference for. I just felt the synergy among us. And so they'd get up and speak, and I was kind of like, yeah, good for them. Yeah, good for them. They're doing it, and so glad I've had my place in the sun. That's kind of the little dialogue going in my little pea brain. And then I kind of, after that, I kind of threw my hat in the ring for a few classes and that sort of thing, but my heart wasn't in it. And then COVID, of course, that contributed to, kind of a weird energy in the world. And I'm looking back going, who knew what we were doing at that point. So I was invited to a class. So I went to a class on finding your purpose. I mean, here I've been teaching finding your purpose, getting what makes you tick for all these years, yet I want to learn. And I realized out of that class, that's what I wanted to shift from being the teacher to being the student. And so I participated in lots and lots of classes, and I benefited from different people. 6-minute webinar, Bill Heinrich and Dawn. By the way, if you're interested in that, they have a session this Saturday. I highly recommend it. You can ask me about it later. Barry Alcatel and his energy clearing. Alan Davidson, who I'm going to share about him in just a little while. He was doing the Badass Mystic Tribe. Mark had his Soulful Leaders. I mean, I just got to participate in lots of different places. And again, I had really shifted out of that arrogant place of, I'm just learning now, not teaching. And I was in the tunnel, that tunnel that just has no end. And it doesn't go anywhere, because, when you decide this is how it is, it's like you're in an endless tunnel. And I'll tell you the truth, what really shifted was this guy on the call, Mark. And he's so subtle, so easy going. You just never know that a freight train has, pulled into your path. And he just invited me to be an author in the Soulful Leadership book. And I said, yes, I'd like to do that. And I'm like, hey, what am I going to write about? I've done all that other stuff. So, and then I remembered, Alan Davidson led a VIP session for me in May of 2017. And we came out with something that was very, very monumental at that moment of sacred synchronicity. And I'm like, I could write about that. And maybe that'll start my juices going. So guess what? That did. And I've shared about this on the masterclass as well, but I also realized that I have been asking the wrong question, or been telling myself, am I willing? And I turned it around. Somebody actually helped me with this. They said, why don't you just say, I am willing? Instead of asking yourself over and over, getting the same answer, expecting a different result. Why don't I turn that around and say, I am willing? So I didn't know what journey I was going to get into, but here we are. We have a beautiful tribe of people that have shown up and heard the call. And so I hope there's something in here for you that will move something that you are wanting to bring out into the world. Maybe you were like me, you were sitting on it, on the fence. Maybe you were sitting in the background. Maybe you were waiting for the world to open up. Well, here it is, here we are, and this could be your nudge today. So let's hear from a few people if we could. What brought you here today? I'm always very curious to know, and I'd just love to hear from you. When you saw the email or you felt the nudge, I'd love to hear your story. What got you here today? Anybody be willing to share?
And at any time, you can always pop your hand up digitally or raise your hand. We're looking at both.
Come on, you can do it. Be
Kim is
visible.
always
It's a
courageous.
visibility fun retreat.
Courageous Kim Zoller is up to bat.
Okay.
Okay, so I think, Jan, what drew me to this is I was part of the Soulful Leadership Conference that you spoke at. And
Yeah.
I am really drawn to people who are audaciously authentic. And that's what I felt like you were. And it was just, you know, there was just a connection, and you were sharing about birthing your teaching. And I ran a corporate training business for a long time. I took time off to raise my children. And then I've been involved in a very entangled extended family matter that's consumed my life, and that's ending. And so I was like, okay. And Alan Davidson was part of my journey too. I was part of his soulful tribe, badass tribe, was ready to start working with him on developing my message. And he got called up to heaven. So I've been calling him down saying, okay, lead me from above, brother. So yeah, I think I don't really truly remember what I just remember. I don't really remember what this is about, this particular training, but it got rescheduled and I was glad it fit on my calendar. And I'm coming here just as an open vessel, ready to learn and dive in to this training with this group. So, but that's what drew me there, was just like something you did or said. And I just went, I just really like the way she's right there. And there's not this kind of pretense about her. So that's what I was drawn to.
Awesome. Wow, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I can jump in. It's Rob. Can you hear me?
We can, Rob. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So really, it's just kind of a chain of events, and synchronicity has clearly played part of that. I noticed something on one of the calls that you did for the
The master class, I think.
the master class, yes.
Yeah.
So we did that, and I saw something in that Jan mentioned, and I'm like, oh, I know somebody she should connect with. And then I signed up for her workshop out of curiosity, which got her to actually do the workshop in the first place. And she had sent me an email and I clicked on her website and it wasn't actually working. So I fixed that and she's like, you should come to this. So that's why I'm here. So we'll see how this all plays out. I'm sure there's a bigger cosmic connection in all of this.
Yes, and I'm just laughing because I think, okay, sacred synchronicity applies to technology too. Okay, got it. Well, Rob, I'm glad you're here, and you are my hero. Came to my rescue for sure. Thank you.
No problem.
Somebody else, what attracted you to be here today?
I can go. So
Okay.
I'm Lena and I'm in Chicago. I have loved Jan's work in the 20 years that she's had it out there. Loved the book, used to use it all the time with the first book, Attracting Perfect Customers. Used to recommend it to people all the time or use it with coaching clients and so on. I've got a background in coaching and in training and development. I currently work part-time in social services and am working on stepping into my next space, which is actually more like finally stepping into my space rather than doing things for other people or trying to do it on my own and then not being successful because I'm not really trying. It's time to just really step there. And I've cleared through all the things I need to. So I'm here because I'm a huge Jan fan. Yes, I love everything she does. And
I love you back.
thank you.
We're soul sisters for sure.
Yes, definitely. And so just really glad to be here.
Glad you're here too. All right.
This is Anna Brooks in Colorado.
Hi, Anna.
Just want to make sure you can hear me. I've never done a Zoom by telephone,
Okay.
but my computer lady's working remotely on my computer, so something's getting done while I'm on here. But I met Mark Porteous in December and kind of followed him around and did the Soulful Leadership, got the book. I loved your chapter, but I really loved your story. I lost my husband 7 years ago, and I could understand the feelings and the looseness of your universe when something like that happens. And you were very honest and open about it. But I totally believe in synchronicity. And I want to learn more about how to attract it into my life. I want to be more focused about, more intentional about attracting it into my life. So I felt that this would be a good way to start.
Yay. Let's give her I'm going to give that little celebration thing. That is so cool, Anna, because I want to learn more about synchronicity too. And I feel like that I'm not the expert, like how a lot of these programs, you've got the expert and they're teaching you how to do it. And yesterday we were in our 28-day class and it was all about the plan. And what really came forward is that the plan that we all have loved so much, the plan on the paper that makes it the plan. There's no paper. We are a paperless society. I mean, our plan is now, this moment, and this moment. Yes, we do need to plan when we're going to have lunch and dinner, but we're not talking about these things. We're talking about how can you plan for sacred synchronicity show up. And that's what we're here to experience. And that's what I can share with you, what teeny tiny thing I know about it so far. I'm going to learn along with each of us today. So we have more experiences of that. That's what we can write the goal for. I want more occasions or more experiences of where sacred synchronicity shows up in my life. And one way to increase it, I believe, would be to notice it. Just like, oh, website, Rob, oh my gosh. Yes. So, all right. So we got lots of those things starting to pop. Was there anybody else that wanted to say hello?
Yeah, I'll share.
Corey? And let's see, who is the other? Sana then? Okay.
Marinma.
Oh, Marima. Okay, Corey, then Sana, then Marima. Okay.
Okay. Hi, good morning, everybody from New Zealand. I'm Corey, and when I got the email about Jan's masterclass, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know who Jan was, but Jan, you had me at sacred synchronicity. Those words just grabbed me. And so I signed up for the masterclass and not expecting anything. But from the time you opened your mouth and you started talking about this transforming, am I willing to, I am willing, it was like a bang, this aha moment for me where I thought, my gosh, I've been sitting on the fence because I was getting away with it. And I had not made a choice. I was not willing. I kept staying in the, oh, I'm not sure, doing this little existential cha-cha, will I, won't I, will I, won't I? So that was a challenge for me when you said flip it to I am willing. And on that day, I made the choice. And then as I participated in the master class, I just kept getting these breakthroughs. So I thought, this is sacred synchronicity in action. I don't know what brought me here. My soul brought me here. And I was so glad that I had attended your class. And I thank you so much for the opportunity for me to be here at B Camp.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I just got a new name of a program, Sacred Synchronicity in Action. That sounds kind of contradictory, but I kind of like it. Cool.
I liked the existential cha-cha. I don't know who else heard that, but that was fun.
Oh, the existential. I can't even say that. Cha-cha.
In and out, in and out. Oh, I think everybody can relate to that. We've all done that dance.
In and out. Yes. There you go. Well, welcome, Corey. I'm glad you're here. Let's see. Sana and then Marima, I believe it was.
Hi, everybody. Sana in Switzerland. And I just wanted to speak to Jan's shifting from being the teacher to being the student. And that just is so apropos for right now. That just resonates with me so much. And here you are demonstrating it by saying, I only know a little bit about that, and I'm here to learn with all of you. So there's so much integrity in that, Jan, and I'm here for the ride. I'm doing the 28-day deep dive with Mark and Jan, and we had just a fantastic, fun, it felt like a breakthrough evening last night. And I just wanted to say hello at the beginning of the call because I don't know how long I'm going to be able to stay. Hopefully I will. Okay. I just came down from the mountains after my partner's family reunion for the last 2 days. So I'm a little bit tired, but I'm happy to be here with you all.
Great. Cool. All right. Marima, where is that spicy enchilada?
Right. Okay. Well, I am calling from the Netherlands, but as you can tell from the name and my accent, I'm from Spain. I'm from the south of Spain, Andalusia, flamenco, anyone? So I've been following, Karen said, yes, flamenco. I've been following Jan for a long time, and I still cannot pronounce perfect customers. I say perfect customers, but it doesn't matter. I taught this to so many people in Spanish and in English, and people found their perfect customers, what made them tick, they loved it. And now I'm ready for a second act. I'm more interested in sustainability. I'm interested in doing what we have to do to prevent a catastrophe for the future generations and even for ourselves. And I had to go to a bigger game. So when she said, are you willing? It's like, yeah, I am willing. So what I'm waiting today is, I don't know, just stepping into a bigger game. So that's it for me.
Cool. Yay. We all are. Who else is doing that? Are we all on that? Kind of like, whatever the bigger game is, it could be, I take up tango. I want to learn tango. That would be a bigger game. So it could be anything. It doesn't have to be a bigger game, doesn't have to be world domination. So All right, so who else? We've got one more person just arrived, so I'm just gonna take another minute. I love hearing your stories, and then we're gonna jump forward.
I think Chu
Stepping
has her
into
hand
us.
raised. And real quick
You
before she goes, Chu, I also wanted to say thank you so much. I'm glad you're here, Sana, and Lena, and several, and Marima referenced to the book. So, and Anna, if you have not read Attracting Perfect Customers, that's what a lot of this next level knowledge is based on. So while Jan says she only knows a little bit about what we're exploring, as all of these will attest to, she has many certified students of her practice in building the plan. But the idea of letting go of it, the surrender to it, ooh, that's heavy and big, and that's what we're juicing into now. So, Chu.
All right. Okay, Chu, you're going next. Okay, cool.
I love that phrasing, I'm willing. I think that that's what came, I was reviewing, the information you share. You say that today is your day to say, I am willing to go beyond where I have ever gone before to achieve my goals. So that's what you wrote, Jan. And I think that because of the work I do, which is supporting people in the second half of life to take their dreams and achieve them, to finally achieve them, it's like, gosh, I have to make sure that I continue to be willing and to support that, because when I do that, then the reason why I'm in business, why I'm doing what I'm doing, is continues to have that, so that everybody will have the ripple effects of that. So, and of course, when you put words like sacred, synchronicity, miracles, magic, I'm like, okay. And that's my path for the past few years. So this was just powerful. And part of being willing, because today's Earth Day, I figured that I got to embrace, the piggy part of me. That's my Chinese zodiac sign. So
That's
anyway,
great.
have some fun along the way.
I know. I love it. Love it. Love it. Okay, cool. I know. I talked to Marima a couple of days ago, and she showed me this whole thing on Zoom. I've been playing with it ever since, where you can put eyebrows on and lipsticks and change your complexion. Anyway. All right. Monique, I see you waving your hand. Cool.
Hey guys, so Jan, when you were talking about how for 20 years you did the thing, so I kind of have the opposite, because I feel like now I'm 49 and have I done the thing, so it's interesting how the stories that we tell ourselves, because if I think about it, like I have a 25-year successful marriage. I've lived in Italy, Indonesia, China, Kuwait. I've traveled all over the world. I've taught at companies, universities, schools. I've had my own business, and I have my own business again. Thanks to you, Jan, both times. You helped, you were pivotal in guiding me both times. And I've changed a lot of lives along a lot of lives along the way. But yeah, I would like to get out of that mind space of, I haven't done the thing. So I would like to know that I have done the thing, and I'm doing the thing, and have just trust and faith that everything is happening and unfolding as it should be.
Yes. You're just a baby, 49 years old. I started Perfect Customers at 47. I've been doing it for 20 years. So now you know how old I am. So
okay,
your
so
second act is ready for you to step in and claim the leading role. Dun, 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 dun. We're all ready for our second act. Okay, third, fourth. I always hear that. Somebody always says, it's my third or my fifth. And I'm like, I don't care. It's your next act. Okay. Was there anybody else that had raised their hand? All right. What was I going to share next? All right. Who's leading this party? Okay. So you got to know us just a little bit. Mark and I came together over the book, and then he's my coach now. He's my mentor, and he's helping me be the light in the lighthouse. And when I try to quit, he encourages me not to. So, all right. So we've already done this part. So you were born to shine your light, and I love the lighthouse as our metaphor because it's so many symbolism. The metaphor and the symbolism of a lighthouse is that it's light. If we compare that to ourselves, is similar to what's inside of us, and that we're meant to be shining. And then it's very secure and stable. And so while there's a lot of things we could be doing, there's something that I am uniquely meant to be shining my light about. And so I'd like you to start to think about whether this is your first or second act. What were you born to shine your light about? You know, what was inside of you? What is inside of you? And it could be changing, it could be new, it could be new language. Let's start to just think about that for a second as we travel on. You've heard some of my struggle story, and this poor, bless her heart woman has been having a really bad struggle, and pretty obvious. She's hit the bottle. What she's got on the floor, a cooking book. It's probably right in the middle of COVID. She probably gained 10 pounds because she did, you know, all the COVID eating. But we've all got a story, and the struggle story sometimes is part of what it takes to move forward. You got to struggle sometimes. I mean, we all know that trite example of the caterpillar and then it turns into the butterfly, and in order to leave the cocoon has to push its way out. So what is your struggle story that you're trying to overcome? Because sometimes we don't see it as a story. We see it that we are that story. And in order for me to move ahead, I want to leave that story behind. I've got quite a few stories I've left behind. And sometimes there's one that's kind of got you. And so I'd like you to think about just for a minute, what's your struggle story? And so we're going to pop into our, what do you call it? Our rooms, our sharing rooms.
Wake up.
And here's what I want you not to get in there and go, oh, my story, I got to share my story. It's worse than your story. You know, this is like, my husband died in May of 2017. That was a struggle story for me. I would like you to say what your story was, what you've overcome about it. You know, like, what are you in the process of overcoming? And I mean, admittedly, it's taken me, you know, it's a process. You overcome the death of a spouse or a loved one over time. But I would like you to share in your rooms, what is the struggle story you're leaving behind? So write that down, if you wouldn't mind. What is the struggle story I'm leaving behind? And start to, if you can, start to identify what are you in the process of doing that's helping you leave it behind? Like, what are you taking on? Are you reading a book? Are you taking a class? Are you doing yoga? Are you eating better? You're walking your dogs every day? You know what? It could be anything. So what is this? Thank you, Karen. Oh my gosh, I love you. I love you. I need you. I need you. What is the struggle I'm leaving behind? What am I in the process of doing that is helping to leave it behind? That's our breakout room. So what do you think, Mark?
4 rooms with 3 people in each?
That'd be great. Sounds
Beautiful. Good. And how long shall we give each person to share?
Give each person 2 minutes.
2 minutes. So we'll do
5 minutes altogether. 6 minutes. Okay.
We're gonna add an extra minute. We're gonna do 7 minutes total in the room.
Okay.
That's a little tight squeeze. So you gotta be responsible.
You want to do 10?
2 minutes.
All right, do 10.
Let's do 8.
Okay.
We'll keep it tight, but 8 minutes will help a little bit. So we'll do 8
This is
minutes.
what it looks like, kids. You know, we're just making it up. All right.
So again, you'll have 3 people in each room, 2 minutes each, but you have a little wiggle room, so you have 8 minutes total. I'll put a 2-minute warning when you should be done, and then I'll do the 1 minute, and then you'll come back into the room. Is
Awesome.
anybody any questions about the breakouts before we go in? Beautiful. We'll see you in 8 minutes. You'll have to accept your room. They are now open.
Okay.
I'll start the timer when everybody's in.
Okay. Hi, Joanne. Everybody
I've
in?
set a 6-minute timer. I'm going to pause. Hello, Anna. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. Okay, did you have fun in your rooms? Did you have the perfect people always? Yes. I love how technology monitors sacred synchronicity. That's just beautiful how that works.
We had a
So,
celebrity in mind, Corey.
you had a celebrity? What is
Yes.
that?
Look at her on the big screen.
Oh, okay. So I want to hear from 1 or 2 people. What are you leaving behind?
Sure.
2? Okay.
Yeah, I'm leaving behind my comparisonitis.
Mm.
Yeah, and Mark was there when it was a Red Elephant event, and Iman shared a story where he was told by his mentor that, you know, Iman, you're brilliant, but you're also an idiot. And I was like, oh. And it's around saying, you know, you're brilliant, but you sort of hide it. You're not willing to embrace and all that. And so to me, it hit me hard on that. And what I'm using for my process is that I've been fortunate. I work with Rhonda Renee, so I have my divine coordinates. And man, that's like my North Star. Every time, you know, it's so to sort of help me to appreciate, you know, my own brilliance, what makes me who I am. And you talk about authenticity, about, you know, just flow into that and be that. So yeah, thank you.
Awesome. I love that. Leaving behind comparison. That's good. Let's all leave that one behind. Okay.
I think the
Somebody
scientific
else.
name she gave it was comparisonitis.
Oh, that was it. I was trying to remember. Comparisonitis. That's even better.
Who else wants to share? We have one more.
I think everybody in our group was leaving behind an old identity in favor of a new identity.
Hmm. Yeah,
I can relate to that.
I can relate to that too. So let me just give you a little more juice to pull on this subject with. So welcome to my invisible you. This is what it looks like when, well, this was me last year trying to be invisible. You know, like I'm in the back of the room at Mark's event. I'm probably sitting in the back of the room in the Zoom classes I was taking, you know, just kind of hanging out in the back, being invisible. And so this is what it looks like when you're just wanting to be out front. You're wearing a funky hat, but you're just not being seen. So what would it be like if you were to imagine being visible? You know, let's just for fun. What would you do differently to cause yourself to be more invisible, to increase your visibility? So this is just a little writing exercise. You can make a few notes. You can post it in the chat and describe what would be true if you increased your visibility. I mean, this is kind of a weird question, truthfully. Like, okay, I don't really think of myself as increasing my visibility 10 times or even 100 times. I mean, if you're completely in front of a Zoom camera all the time, which we all are these days, life has changed. I know businesses that were that were based solely on being in person with people. And now they're having to imagine the visibility in a different way. How can I be seen when I don't get to meet and greet in person? I don't go to the conferences. I don't go to the coffee shop and meet with my new acquaintances. So what would you do differently, or what would you like to see really in your increased visibility? So what are some of the things that you might say about this? Let's just brainstorm that for a minute. So
Jen, can you put the questions back? Sorry.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, the questions are, so just, I was, experiencing this last year, certainly, where I felt like I absolutely just wanted to be invisible. Truthfully, I was feeling really raw inside emotionally, and I wasn't quite out of my shell about it. And so what I would do differently to increase my visibility was small baby steps. Like I would just take a safe risk, let's say, taking a class, maybe speaking up in the class, different things like that. I actually started to, being in the book, coming out, while you don't see a person when you write a chapter, there were lots of opportunities to be seen around just even the group of authors that were in the book. There was meetings that we had as a group, and different people are doing different things. So I started to cause my visibility to increase by showing up. That was one of them. Sometimes I didn't feel like showing up, and I just made a goal of it to show up and do my best. So what would you like to do differently? And what would be true if you did that? So I'd love to hear from a few people. Any ideas? I had some of it this weekend. Oh, it started all over again. The website was crashing, and I've been knowing it's time to show up differently. Like I need to bring my new message out on the website. So I had all that going on. And so, I had my COVID shot vaccine on Monday, and it really just kicked my patootie, so I had all that going on. So what is it that each of us has inside of us that has us keep showing up? What's driving that? Where inside of you nudges you and you do it anyway? Mark, you got your hand raised?
I did. I raised my own hand. I did that because of when you're talking about being seen more and building community and showing up. I'm partnering with David Ricklin, who has been a part of our MetaMind for the last couple of years. For last year, we've been building the JV directory, and now we've invested in one of our other MetaMind members, Marusha Murphy's, the collaborative, to build our Facebook community. So we've got 2,500 members in the Facebook community, and but being seen on there, it's a different group. So there's that piece of it. You were just asking about how I would do it differently. So that's what I'm doing differently is showing up there, because typically on Facebook, I share my stuff in marketing, everything else, but to have a place where it's specifically designed for visibility and for what I do, I mean, it should be just natural to doing it, but I really have to push myself to do it. I don't know what the resistance is in being there, but that's what I'm working on.
Yeah. I know there's that resistance. I mean, I've looked at it so many different ways, but I think behind resistance sometimes for me is usually a fear or a doubt. Like the bad bully in my head still rears its ugly head and says, well, wait a minute, fill in the blank. And if I listen to that voice, then it can talk me out of what I'm really committed to. So that's what I loved Alan Davidson's work for, the tapping, the talk, because he would talk to the different voices that are part of us and help us to see that like he would talk about, you know, the protector voice or the controlling voice. What's the purpose of a controller voice inside of us is to control. But it's also there to keep me safe, you know, like it's, you know, something I developed. So he really worked, he had a very amazing way of doing this process. So I've kind of played with that a little bit on the side, not quite as well as he does it for sure. But Monique, you were asking about what would be true, like explain what I'm saying there is, so let's just, you know, what if I increased my visibility 10 times? What might happen? What might it look like? What might be true for me? Like would I feel more like I'm getting going? Would I feel more like, well, at least it's a step in the right direction? Would it bring my self-confidence up? I mean, I just felt my self-confidence went to an all-time low after Alan died. For whatever reason, that just my self-confidence was zero. And that was a struggle. So getting back out there and being seen and being visible was like, everybody's going to see my self-confidence is sucking right now. So what would be true for you? Anybody want to share about that? Marima, sure. And Anna, sorry. And then Karen, okay.
What will be true for me is that I will be out there more on LinkedIn. I will also have more videos on YouTube, and something that I wrote down that has not occurred to me at all before is that I will be collaborating with 2 sustainability warriors that actually were beautiful enough to be my coaches, although they could have coached me, amazing people. And together we could do something. We could write a book, the 3 of us. We could have a webinar together, a panel. We could do something. They already have an association also for sustainability for oil and gas leaders. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, all those things are clear, but the bully in my head is like, who the hell do you think you are? And these people are going to laugh in your face, but how come that, these people are bringing spirituality to them and they don't laugh, they want more. Yeah. And I had taught these people meditation, tapping, the work by Byron Katie, the passion test, perfect customers, and they want more. So why not other oil and gas leaders? So yeah, I will have to be much more out there than I am. I am very shy, very dropping, just a drop from time to time. Mm-hmm. I could increase it by 10, I could increase it by 100.
Well, I love this stand. I've known you for a while, and this stand that you've always been for, the transforming the oil and gas industry. I mean, you have a past employment, career where you were very engaged there. She's a super smart engineer. She's like brilliant mind and played in that area for a long time. So now you're not only a transforming engineer passionista. I think that would put all that together to describe you. Yeah. Okay, cool. Anna, how about you? You were going to share.
That was a great nickname.
Yeah,
that was a great nickname. I like that. If I stepped out, if I did more, the one thing that I did do is I started attending more online networking groups. Mm-hmm. I did not think I'd be very good at doing things online. I've always been a face-to-face person, and face-to-face takes a lot of time. takes a lot of resources. And I have met so many wonderful people through networking, including Mark and yourself and the folks on here. And my numbers have increased, but I need to be more visible. I need to put out, I need to be more systematic about putting out information and putting out stories of how we've helped people and how I've been helped, and sharing other people's ventures and be more out there that way. Not that I'm the all giver, but you know, there's no harm in making money while you're helping people.
Yeah.
That's what we're all about. I mean, that's the way small business has been since day one. It's not just helping yourself, it's helping your community. And so I'm kind of focused on that. Really.
What would that do for inside of you if you did a little more of that? What would be happening on the inner side, internet?
I would finish that book.
Okay, there you go.
I would finish that book, and I would, gosh, I have some nonprofits that we're looking at developing. And I also want to create a self-sustaining compound in Costa Rica. Yeah. And use it as a recovery center for whatever life hits you with, to be able to escape for a short period of time into your own little hut, you know, in the lush jungles of Costa Rica.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. I'm ready. So I'm trying to track the synchronicity that would bring all of that together into one little package. But I know the most important thing I can do is open myself to those doors.
Yeah.
And that's been my focus. I need to open myself to walking through those doors.
Yeah, and in the chat, Sana says yes to the power of stories. I totally agree with that. And Joanne says a recovery center for whatever life hits you with. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, great possibilities. Yeah. And there's Marima. She has a dream to do sustainability workshops in Costa Rica.
In Costa Rica, yeah.
Woohoo. Okay, here it is. Cool. All right, save the chat, because there are people.
Synchronicity.
Yeah, we're creating it right here in this space. All right. Karen Joy Fritz.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were asking more for the drivers or the shadows. So
say more about that. Yes.
When I think about becoming more visible, right? What comes to me is, oh, then I'd have more clients, and I'd have to have somebody else to run all the marketing stuff, and I'd have to manage a team of people. And then I would have to be talking to these people all the time, and I would have no time left for me. I would be managing people, which I don't love. I would be expected to provide a lot of information. I would be on call, and everybody would want to interrupt me, and I would never get to do my own thinking. So when I thought about going bigger, and this is not recent, when I think about going bigger, it's like, no. Deeper, maybe. Specific, yes. Continuing to contribute, yes. But being like the Brené Brown of Tiny Biz, I don't know. I don't know if I want that.
We don't have to.
It
comes up for me too. You know, it comes up for me too as well. Those same similar conversations. I don't want to be Tony Robbins style, you know, with that kind of woo. That's a lot. You know, I kind of like my version, and always have. So it's what's perfect for you. It really is. What brings you?
I'm going to interject, because this is my field of expertise. I've worked with small businesses for 35 years, and carefully expressed, Karen Joy, that is exactly what most businesses go through. Is that choice of, you know, I am so busy with my business, I'm not doing what I love to do. And that's why you get a business coach. That's why you look for resources, tools, etc., that automate your business. You know, they give you a game plan and monitoring points, so you're not micromanaging your business, but keeping track of it, regardless of how many people are in your business. If you have the right reporting in place, you can look at a piece of paper and see all of the plugs and all of the bottlenecks in your business and address them. You don't have to address every little thing. Yes, we do.
You
But
guys,
that's my passion,
you
is
guys
small
are-
business people need to do what they do best.
Yeah.
And so pragmatically, yeah, we can help you put that together in a very pretty picture.
And that's what I would do if I needed to be more visible, is to speak up in these kinds of classes and say, like, this is what I do, instead of hiding in the back of the room. So thank you for the modeling.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, put your info in the chat so you guys can connect. All right, so let that percolate, okay? You can keep honing that conversation. And I want to move on a little bit from that portion into our next conversation. So many of you here, thank you for being loyal fans of the attraction planning process. I've been teaching that for 20 years. And I wanted to talk about who you might want to be attracting now. And one of the things when Mark and I first started to have conversations about this call, this class, and sacred synchronicity and law of attraction, one of the things that became apparent or came forward in our conversation is about, is law of attraction really applicable anymore? I mean, is it not like it's gone out, it's like outdated or anything, but it's a concept that a lot of people loved, like me. I was a law of attraction teacher for many, many years, yet I wanted more. And so while I taught the strategic attraction planning process, which is still a very, 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 very successful program, and still will work for anyone that wants to get clear about who they are wanting to work with or connect with or be in relationship with, I wanted to add a new dimension. So I wanted to talk about that for our next piece. I brought you this picture because it was a PowerPoint that I created for Mark's event. And it was about how a particular soul tribe was called in. And that's my new distinction, is in place of just waiting for the law of attraction to give me something, I'm calling in my perfect tribe. And so let me just talk about that for a minute. But before we go to that, I wanted to read this poem. And Rob is on the call today. And he gifted me and our group, our tribe, with this poem that he wrote. And I just wanted to share it because I felt like it's really a great poem and speaks to what we're speaking of. And Mark, I would love it if you read it. Or Rob, even better, if you would read
I was
it.
going to say, why would I read Rob's work? Please let Rob read.
Rob, you're here. Could you read the poem? I don't know if he's got the PowerPoint. I know he's got it in front of him or not.
Rob, are you there? Are you able to speak? And if
He's having, he might be in listen only mode.
All right. Well, as the only, wait, I think you're not on
He had
mute.
issues with his
Sound.
internet.
Got it. Well, Rob, I will do my best to represent you. I love the name. The title is Synchronicity. Sometimes the stars are aligning and the tumblers fall in place. We witness a bit of magic that puts a smile on our face. A little bit of alignment where everything is clear and we glimpse the possibilities, the future that is near. We so long for these moments when everything makes sense and something pushes us forward when we might be on the fence. It's these little bits of clarity that make life seem worthwhile, reminding us we are all connected. And again, it makes us smile. Thank you, Robert.
Yeah, beautiful. So that's really, that's what we're experiencing in this call already, is to have these moments where we connect with one another. We're really, well, I would say we're hungry for it, especially with a more of an online business. We have to look for ways to connect, but when we come together, we can connect with each other in such these ways. I think we're all learning to create sacred synchronicity inside of our connections with one another here. So I thought that was really cool. So what is it that we want? You know, like it said in the poem, a moment of connection, a smile, a recognition. So when we were calling in our soul tribe, you could look around at the people in the room. And so you could put it, I'm going to just put it on the gallery view if you want to do that. And then you can see most everybody here that's on the video. And you can start seeing, here's who I'm connecting with. And, you know, you could also just go ahead and say, I called you in. Like, you are my perfect tribe. And I called you in. Oh, no, Jan, Mark, they did all that. They got us here. But you could also just say, yes, and a little bit of improv there. Yes, and I called them in for a reason. That's where the sacred synchronicity comes in. That's where, when we're wanting to become more visible, it becomes important to start to notice what's tapping me on the shoulder. Where am I being nudged? Where am I being invited to show up? And you get to say, I'm going to show up here. I'm going to show up or not show up this. But I would invite you to start saying, really owning. I mean, I know we get tons and tons of mail, right? Every day I'm getting hundreds of emails and every day, but I wait for something to really call to me. And there's always an energy that comes with an email. Every email has something. It's not just an email. And so if it's jumped out at you or caught your attention, open it and read it. And there's something in there for you. So sacred synchronicity, this is my new thing. Sacred synchronicity shows up in technology. I mean, it's got to, right? We're a technology relating tribe now. And so we look for these moments in however we're being, whatever we're dealing with today. All right, so wanted to show you one more little picture of my soul tribe. Okay, can you see that? Or did I?
Not yet.
Okay, all right, I went in the wrong direction. I forgot to hit share screen. I'm just showing you my PowerPoint. Anyway, I'm going to go back one. This is my my beekeeping ladies, and a couple of their husbands, I believe, are there. And in 2013, I think it was, or 2015, I actually lost track of the date now. My husband, Alan, he and I just had met a woman who at a conference, I was a speaker at a women's conference in New Orleans, and she got up to speak, and it was her mission or her purpose, her work was all about helping these women learn the art of beekeeping. And since I had a book with a bee on it, and I talk about being attraction all the time, I had to meet her. And so she's just a lovely, lovely woman out of Houston. She worked for the Hashu Foundation, which is, I think their headquarters is in Dubai. Anyway, an organization that funds many different projects. And she was the project team leader of this particular beekeeping one. But I loved it because she was changing lives. And I decided then that I wanted to make more of a contribution in that when you make a contribution, it doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be global. But what happened in this village in Pakistan is that their government prevents them, the women, from working. And so that's against the law. And so only men could work. And the women, though, found that they could legitimately raise bees. And so they kind of slipped through the cracks of the system to be an organization that was teaching the women to not only raise bees, but to earn money by selling the honey. And so they sold the honey. They were this nonprofit organization that my friend was part of, helped them to learn marketing. And so we raised money for this group of people to buy more kits so they could have more families raising bees. So I wanted to share that because many of us want to make a contribution to an organization, but it doesn't have to be huge. I wanted you to know that we of course had grand hopes of raising about 50,000, but we raised about 10, and we did it by giving away copies of our book, Being Attraction, to anybody. If you wanted the book, you could get it for free, and you didn't have to make a contribution, but you could. So what I would like you to do is think about who is the tribe you want to bring in. And I only bring these ladies forward because look at I wanted you to see their faces. I can't really see it too well right there. Okay, I think I took that picture. But I wanted you to see, you can just tell by how their bodies are. They're excited. They're looking at the frame that probably has the honey in it. One of the men is holding up the frame. One's down in the kit. They're passionate. They love it. You know, that $10,000, while in America, it didn't really sound like a lot to me. Over there in Pakistan, it actually helped transform 20 families. And the lady at the Hashu Foundation got back with me about just a few months actually after Alan's death. So he never really heard the outcome. But in those years, they used that money, they bought the beekeeping kits, they trained the people, and they had produced X number, I don't remember the details now, but they produced a certain amount of honey that was sold. And as a result, the whole culture of this community changed because the women were earning more money, the men were supporting their wives, their children were eating better and getting an education inside of a community or a culture where women don't work. And so go women, go. So I wanted to just give you the very first tip of the strategic attraction planning process so that you can start to call in your tribe. And so the very first step in that attraction process is to describe qualities, characteristics, and attributes of my perfect soul tribe. And so that's what I'd like you to do is just write down and start to describe them. And if you're kind of stumped for something, think about the people on this group. Each of us have called in this tribe, and there's attributes that people are demonstrating here. You know, what are some of them? Just unmute yourself and say one or two of them just out loud, just popcorn style. What did you see in our tribe so far?
Passionate about sustainability.
There you go. Woo. What else?
Spiritual entrepreneurs.
Awesome. What else?
A desire to grow, to
Desire
move
to grow.
forward.
Awesome.
Desire to learn.
Awesome. Yes.
Fun, contributors.
Fun contributors, yes. All right, so just write some things down like that and get your strategic attraction plan started that way. I'm going to tell you later how you can expand it.
I was
And,
going to say a willingness to move forward.
awesome. Hey, Martina, I didn't get to say hi to you. Hi.
Hi.
I kept saying, thank you. I got to say hi to Martina. I'm glad you're there. Okay.
Hi.
Okay. Yes. Authenticity. I want to just talk while you're writing a little bit about calling it in. One of the things about law of attraction that was always challenging, I think, for many of us, that it's so universal, you know, like it's so big, you know, what a great, big, huge concept law of attraction is. Even though it sounds simple, like attracts like, but, you know, if you ever listen to some of the Abraham Hicks, you know, whether you heard them in person or you listen to the recordings, it's always like, huh? You know, like it's always rewinding. I want to get that and I want to get it, but it's just not sinking in. And I'm like, it's so hard. Why does it have to be so hard? And so strategic attraction planning was that for me. It was, you know, like describe the qualities, characteristics, and attributes of my perfect tribe. It was something I could do. I could write it down. That was easy for me. And so I liked it, what I was teaching, because it helped people to kind of wrap their arms and give them a tool to, you know, access law of attraction. Yet still things may not be coming to us that we were wanting. We wrote all the plans, we did all the due diligence, we wrote all the right things, the clever sayings, the catchy phrases, etc. And still law of attraction seemed to like avoided me. You know, okay, I wrote that down a million times. Where are you? So then I thought, well, I think maybe part of it is there's like this expectation that just because I thought of it, it's going to come to me. You know, like wishful thinking. Like, oh, I mean, there's something else I have to do. Oh, so that's when I added on to my attraction plan was just 4 steps. I added on a 5th step, take an attractive action. So I think the attractive action for us all to take is to get that we're responsible. I am responsible for calling in my tribe, my people, my relationships. And dadgummit, when I call in one that's not a good fit, is it a bad thing? Did I do something wrong? No, I gained knowledge. Oh, I don't like that when that person spoke that way. Oh, okay. I noticed. I don't like that. What do I want? What would be better for me? So I would turn it around. So that's what the strategic attraction plan is all about, is helping me see what I want more of, but then turning around when I attract something that I don't like. And then just to put the cherry on top of our strategic attraction Sunday is that now we want to be responsible that I am calling it in. Like I am getting in my true authentic self. When I'm not 100% in alignment, nothing works right. I have to call it in because I need to align with my divine connection, my highest place, wherever you go for ultimate alignment. Okay, we're not a set of tires. We can't go to, you know, what's a tire store? We can't go down the street and discount tires. We can't go to discount tires and get alignment. We can for our car, but not for ourselves. Where do we go to get alignment for our heart and soul? Well, here you are. That's where we are. I love it. Hashtag is Strategic Attraction Sunday. Cherry on top. So we're going to call it in. So I want you to write down your first step. Have you got some words on there? And now just set your pens aside. No more, you don't have to write anything. Just be, just enjoy. We're going to call it in. All right, just close your eyes and take a minute to take a deep breath. And let it go. Remember, today is an experience. It's not a to-do. You're just fine already the way you are. You're perfect. Sometimes it's just that I'm too busy to get in that attuned area and to reflect. So let's just take a moment and feel yourself connecting to your divine connection. God, Goddess, all that is, whatever is perfect for you. Just tune in there for a moment. And just feel in your energy center at the top of your head. Just feel that opening and feel like there's a direct connection. Oh, I see Alan. He's up there going, yeah, darling, come on. Bring it on up. And just take a deep breath. And just feel that top of the head connection going all the way through your body, connecting all of your chakras, your energy centers, that you have one at your forehead, your third eye. Just take a breath. And you have one at your throat chakra. Just feel that in alignment as well. And your heart. Definitely, let's open the heart a little wider, open our throats. It's a safe, easy place to do that. And then right in the center of us is our hara, or our solar plexus. Right below that, right below our navel, is our sacred, our sacrum, our energy center for creativity. And right behind us at the base of our spine is the grounding, where all things grounded. Just feel that grounding all the way through the rest of your body, through the bottom of your feet as you're touching the earth. Feel your feet touching the ground. And from the bottom of your feet, feel that divine connection all the way from your highest and best source, going all the way through, connecting your physical essence of your body, all the way through your feet and through the bottom of your feet, connecting to the core of the earth. And feel very grounded. Now just allow this connection to move through anything that is stopping or blocking, anything that's less than perfect. Feel that transmuting to the earth and coming back from the earth in a beautiful transmission of light. And in this sacred space, I want you to envision who you're calling in. You can call in one person or a whole village. It's completely perfectly fine for you to choose what's right for you. It could be your perfect next client, your perfect romantic partner, or it could be a whole village. It could be a family. It could be a women's village in Pakistan that are learning the art of beekeeping. Just breathe that in and feel yourself connecting heart, mind, and spirit with the essence of who you're calling in. And just see if any words come to mind, any thoughts, any pictures, and just bring them in your own silent way. And see them coming to you. from wherever they are. And imagine what you'll say. Imagine what their face looks like. Their eyes are shining. They're like you. They're just like you. They're people like you. It's not so scary. And just breathe it in. And if it's one, so be it. Let it come quickly, that person. If it's 10, let them come to you now, one at a time or in a group. And if it's 100, let your guide show you how to meet them. Just open them to receive, just like you are opening the door to your home and inviting us all. Call it in. I am calling in my perfect, and just fill it in. Your blank, my perfect tribe, my people, however you want to say it. And as they start to come to you, how will you know they are your people? What will you notice? What will they say? What will be the feeling you're having? And take a deep breath. And just thank your people for coming and hearing your call, and say, I'll get back to you on that. I'll be right with you. And take a deep breath. And when you're ready, just step right back into our call and open your eyes. And just write down anything that came to you, any notes, any thoughts, any visions. So the vibe right now is so peaceful and quiet. I'm not going to interrupt it with words, but we're going to take a short break. Give you a little time. You can continue writing. We're going to take a 10-minute break. So Mark, what time would we be rejoining? So it's like, say 40 minutes after.
Yeah, we'll say for a 13-minute break then. Do right at the top of the hour.
Yeah, right at the top of the hour. Is that right?
We'll be.
That's 20 minutes.
I'm sorry, yes, 10 minutes of the hour. Yes, thank you very much. So good that you can do
So
that.
10 minutes till the top of the hour. Okay. Is that right?
Yep. We'll see you at 10 minutes.
I will see you right back.